Hello to all my queers and dears who may or may not be here. Welcome back to the stream where we play non-violent games that reward the player for intellectual and or emotional engagement rather than for participating in combat or other forms of violent gameplay loops. We're back with Ghost Trick Phantom Detective today. Chapter 17, 5:10 p.m. AM. The upended submarine continues to sink slowly but surely, a long, long journey to the bottom of the sea. Lynn and the little lady found the darkness and the salt water closing in on them, but at the very last second something saved them. Now it looks down at them quietly. My head is filled with one giant question. What in the world is this thing? Hick! I see you managed to survive, Detective. Hey, you're... Excuse my appearance, I seem to have lost my body. Oh, and you there. You're the ghost who's been saving Lynn all evening, aren't you? You knew about me you knew about me all along? Of course. What else would explain all those unnatural things happening? If you knew, how come you didn't do anything about it all this time? And how come you decided to save us all of a sudden? I thought you wanted to get revenge on us. I don't really know. Please, you gotta tell me. I need to know. Who in the world are you? Cecil, look at you. What happened? I can't hold on to that image of myself any longer. You can't remember who you are. That's right. I came all this way tonight trying to chase down my lost memory. For quite a bit of tonight, I thought it was you, Cecil. Cecil? My name isn't Cecil. I bet you'll remember really soon who you are and who I am, too. What? The man in front of me is not me. I'm even further away from the truth, or maybe not. Something is stirring in my mind, a memory about to emerge. Do I know this man? Now that I've shed my image of myself, I feel like I'm one step closer to the truth. They got us good. It's all over for this submarine. Its engine room is destroyed, there's a hole in the hull, and it's sinking as we speak. What are you doing here? I thought you had to deal with those people. They betrayed me. I was a fool to trust them. They already have what they wanted now. The Temsik fragment. I didn't know they had it all figured out. You mean they figured out the source of your powers? Yeah. That meteorite's radiation has two effects on living creatures. It gives power and time. If you don't mind, we'd like to hear more. These 10 years, I've been watching the junkyard superintendent do his research. And I think I've kind of got some of it figured out. The meteorite's radiation gives spirits special powers, like possessing and manipulating objects. And in my case, swapping objects. Exactly. Apparently, there are individual differences in the powers we get, and it seems these powers change as time goes by. They do. Yeah, my powers have changed over these past 10 years. At first, I could only manipulate small living creatures. Now then, how do you suppose we got these powers? It's simple. It is? How then? In a nutshell, we died while exposed to the energy emitted by the meteorite. It's radiation. That's what does it? Dying while being exposed to the radiation? On that day 10 years ago. A fragment of that meteorite pierced my heart, and I died. So of course I received special powers. Hey, wait a minute. Is that how I got my powers too? You know, you might be right. Aren't the Temsic remnants still right there in that park at the bottom of the crater? You're right. So that must mean I must have died in the presence of the meteorite's radiation too. I have been giving Sissel and the Manipulator the same voice since, you know, well, I'm not, it just seemed like the right thing to do since Sissel's self-image was as this person, was as the Manipulator, obviously before he knew the Manipulator, but like, so it seems like it works to me, but it does mean there isn't really a distinction between them, which might not come off quite right for anyone watching. I'm not sure. Another effect the meteorite's radiation has on us is that it gives us time. Again, I think this time effect is centered around the theme of death, but it's not all that clear. So the fact that I can return to 4 minutes before a person's death is another effect of that meteorite. I think what I should be doing is it would be good to give them different speech patterns. One of the characteristics of that meteorite is its ability to replay the moment of death. Replay the moment of death? Ah, this is all so strange and confusing. I can't take it all in. It makes about as much sense to me as anything else. Yeah, strange and confusing. That just about sums up the object that pierced my body that day. Thanks to that meteorite fragment, my very existence is a contradiction. What do you mean? That day, when the fragment pierced my heart, I lost my life. However, because it remained inside of me, that fragment continued to constantly regenerate my body. In other words, my body was continuously cycling between the moments that separated my life and death. What? My body's vital functions stopped 10 years ago, but my body's time is perpetually stopped at the moment just before death. Time just stopped, huh? So I just simply existed, not really alive and not really dead. That pretty much sums up these last 10 years for me ever since that incident in the park. My body hasn't aged a day, my hair hasn't grown an inch. Come to think of it, that old pigeon guy mentioned something. He said he couldn't cut this guy's body with the scalpel. So I guess as soon as an incision was made, his body would be regenerated. Wow. Before I left this country, I wanted to do one thing. I wanted to get revenge on the people who stole our lives. Our lives? As part of the deal, I made those guys promise to cooperate. Cooperate? You mean the kidnapping? It all went fine. I manipulated the Justice Minister and made him issue the execution order, but I thought he might call off the execution at the last second. So that's why he wanted his daughter kidnapped. But they kidnapped the wrong girl! Little did I know, they had their own reasons for cooperating with me. Huh? Their objective was to wipe out everybody who had to do with Temsic. Detective Jowd was one such person, so they were happy to cooperate. Inspector Cabanela and that junkyard super, they were slated to be wiped out, too. And as it turns out, I was one of their targets as well. So they stole my Temsic fragment, and here I am. But they had one more final target. You, detective. Me? If you weren't there in the park that day 10 years ago, I never would have thought of doing something as stupid as taking a hostage. Okay, but I was just a little kid playing in the park. Yeah, I know. Huh? 10 years later, and you'd become a detective looking into Jowd's case. Tonight I invited you to a quiet spot on the edge of town. It was a trap, you see. I told you who I was. You never saw my face that day 10 years ago, so of course you didn't recognize me. I took possession of you to make you shoot me. Your subconscious resisted me. Such incredible power. It was the first time I wasn't able to control somebody completely. The aim was off and the first shot missed the mark. Junkyard was equipped with security cameras. I knew you'd be wanted for murder. Well, that was my plan anyway. But they had other ideas. They simply wanted you wiped out. But then, something threw a big monkey wrench into their scheme. I showed up. I was supposed to meet up with them after that, but then something went wrong. What happened? My body disappeared. Ah, the inspector in white was responsible for that one. My precious bargaining chip was in that body. I had to get it back, no matter what. That inspector caused me no end of trouble. But why were those people targeting me? I never even heard of the Temsic meteorite. Because you were looking into the Jowd case. They thought you would find out about Temsic sooner or later. And that's pretty much the whole story. The only thing left to do now is wait for water pressure to crush this submarine. Sorry. Hold on. Oh! Sorry, folks. I forgot that I had the wrong webcam, on. Sorry about that. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to switch the webcam. Oh no. There are no cores that link from here to the water's surface. I have an idea. We hook up the phone line and there are no communication cables down this deep. They meant for this submarine to be my coffin. A coffin for the dead. There's no escape. I think I kind of understand now. What you've been feeling these 10 years. You... what? This feeling cut off from the world, all alone on a submarine, stinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. This must be how you felt all along. Vin? Camilla! Is it true? We're stuck here. What? If my dad was here, I bet he'd save us. Camilla, I'm so sorry! That's funny. What is it, Sissel? There's something I don't understand. Why would they go to all the trouble of detaching the control room? What? Why didn't they just steal the Temsik fragment and escape if that's what they wanted? Why did they have to jettison your body off into the sea? That's a good question. But I guess it doesn't matter why now. We'll never find it again. We have no idea where it was launched to. Wait a minute! Yes, we do! This will tell us where Detective Jowd is. That present from the Inspector in white. That's right, Detective Jowd told me to hold on to it for him. And the bullet is still in this person's body in the command room, right? Then we should be able to tell exactly where it is with this. But even if we find out where it is, how to get there, we should be able to figure something out between the three of us. With our powers, right, Nizlin? Right, oh, and wait a minute. What about a torpedo? Torpedo? In any case, it's way too early to give up. It's like Detective Jowd is our last hope. Come on, let's get started. Why is this machine shoving grapes at me? Well, this looks like the private cabin of the top officer, doesn't it? This machine is probably for feeding him grapes while he lies in bed. Oh, it sounds heavenly! I've been thinking about this for a while now. But don't you think that country's use of technology is just a little off? This is the guy who made a deal with said country. Anyway, it looks like the arm of this machine is a bit busted. So, his shell is definitely there in the command room, right? Just without the fragment. It's there, yeah, but I don't know about calling it a shell. Detective Jowd's watch will tell us exactly where it is. Right, he said it was a radio receiver, didn't he? There might still be another torpedo on this submarine. If we use it, we can get to Detective Jowd. It's a brilliant plan, Detective. You think so? So what are you gonna do, ride on the top of the torpedo? Of course not, you guys are gonna go. Darn, I kinda wanted to see that. Did you want to see me drown? So, my dad isn't here on the submarine? Don't worry, we're gonna go get him right now. Okay. I hope I didn't hurt Lynn's feelings when I said about my dad saving us if he was here. Oh, don't worry about that. Comments like that just roll right off Miss Lynn's back. She's really thick-skinned. I'm going to start being tougher, too. I want to make my dad proud of me. I want to make my dad proud of me. Miss Camilla. I'm sure your dad is very proud of you, Camilla. I better not open this. Water would come gushing in, I bet. In such a peaceful mood at the moment, no need to throw cold water on it. I wouldn't go so far as to call it peaceful. Okay, what do we do now? go find the command room that was launched somewhere in the sea. What? How? Just to let you know, I don't like water very much. According to Lynn, the key to our plan is a torpedo, kind of a missile. Missile? You have a missile right here! I don't think she's talking about that kind of a missile. Well, then where did we see that torpedo? So I can't switch to anyone else now. Oh! The torpedo room, huh? There might be another torpedo left there. I'll go check it out. Oh, I get it. You're gonna use a missile to ram the control room. Well, I don't know about ram. We don't want to blow Detective Jowd up, but something like that. We'll climb up to the torpedo room, too. Up is definitely safer. Okay, I'll see you there, then. Looks like the torpedoes can be launched manually with these switches. There are 2 tubes, so there should be 1 more left. I guess the first thing we have to do is load it into the tube. When it comes to missiles, you can count on me! I'll enter the coordinates of the command room into the torpedo. And I just turned on the backup power. We ought to be able to use the switches now. Okay, let's try it. Good luck! This switch won't budge. Maybe it's broken, but I don't think the entire device is broken. It would probably work just fine if I could only move this switch. We'll just have to find a way to move it somehow. But I can't do it with my powers alone. Ooh, here's an idea. What will happen to these 2 ladies? I think that's up to us and our powers. What? This is no time to be standing around unsure of ourselves. Will you lend me your strength missile? Me? Of course I will. Count on it. How's it going there? I'm just calculating the command room's coordinates now. I have to put in a slight offset, though, don't want to blow it up. I'm sure Detective Jowd would appreciate that. Well, leave this to me. Good luck with loading the missile. Good luck with loading the missile. Okay, thanks. Oh, there we go. Boop. There we go. That torpedo looks serviceable. All set on this end, too. But something's odd. What is? The command room. It looks like it's slowly sinking. Sinking? Yeah, like it's completely run out of power. I wonder what happened. I don't know, but I guess I'll find out. Right. Okay, hop into the missile. I'll launch it for you. Okay, thanks. I've already set the torpedo's course. It'll head toward the command room where Detective Jowd is. 12 seconds after launching, it'll pass by the command room for an instant. That instant will be your window of opportunity to jump over to the command room. Okay, got it. And then we'll find a way to come back and save you. That'll probably be my last task tonight. Just hold on until we get back. Wait, but... Okay, come on, Missile. Missile? I'm sorry, I can't go. What? I just can't. How could I leave? I can't leave Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla behind. I can't do it. Missile. I swapped the switches so the missile can be launched. You'll have to do the rest, Sissel. I can't do it either. I can't ask Missile to come with me after that. I understand exactly how he feels. I want you to go, Missile. What? But, Miss Lynn, you staying here won't change our fate. But if you go with Sissel, you might be able to make something happen. And that's our only hope. But what if that something doesn't happen? I'll never be able to see you again. Never ever again. Even I can understand that. I couldn't stand that. Don't worry, Missile. Miss Camilla? I just know you and Sissy can make something happen. I believe in you. I'll be right here waiting for you. We'll see each other then. Don't worry. Miss Camilla! That's a good boy, Missile. Now are you ready? Remember, it's 12 seconds after I throw this switch. We're ready. Sissel? Yes? We never found out who you really were. But that doesn't matter now. All I know is, I'm truly glad I met you tonight. Thank you for everything. And I'm glad I met you, Detective. But we're gonna see each other again, right, Sissy? Right, Missile? That's right. We promise, little lady. Of course we will! I'll never forget you. No matter what happens. Here goes, then. Good luck, friend. And I'm just saying, like, we just found out that a spirit lived for 10 years. Clearly, Ray was lying. Right? About spirits being gone at dawn? I don't know. I guess we'll have to face that reality soon enough. These 12 seconds are lasting an eternity. I strive to think of a way I strive to think of a way to save Lynn and the little lady the whole time. How can a ray of light of hope reach this far down into the deep sea? Before I can think of an answer, the 12 seconds are up. Detective Jowd! I bet that big masked man did this! I'm gonna bite him! Better not, he might break your teeth. The man has lost power and is sinking. So I wonder what this masked man is gonna do. Let's talk to Detective Jowd! Sorry for the wait, Detective Jowd. Who are you? Are you Sissel? Please excuse my appearance. I can't believe you made it here. How is Camilla? And what about Lynn? Well, it's kind of a long story. I told Detective Jowd about everything that happened on the submarine Yanoa. So the submarine is badly damaged? Why would he do that to his own submarine? Wish I knew. I know the answer to that one. It's because he's afraid of my powers. You followed us? I didn't even notice. It's been 10 long years, Detective Jowd. Are you Yomiel? Are you Yomiel? So, you remember me, do you? How could I possibly forget? So that's your real name, huh? Yomiel? That's right. But those people on the Yanoa were calling you Sissel. That's just an alias I was using for my deal with them. I didn't see any need to tell them my real name. Could you do me a favor? Would you let me ask you some questions? I've been trying to find out my true identity all night. Sure. Go ahead. I'm sure there's plenty we could still tell you. Right, Detective Jowd? Right. 10 years ago, you were a top systems engineer, weren't you? Systems engineer? What's that? By the way, I'm a top Pomeranian, you know. Well, it's kind of hard to explain to a dog, but it's a person who's good at using computers. I don't mean to brag, but I was one of the best in the industry. That's how I got roped into joining that project. Project? What project? It was a project aimed at reorganizing the nation's top-secret information. The goal was to build a new system using multidimensional programming theory. I was asked to join the project by an agent of the government. It doesn't sound like something a top Pomeranian would know anything about. To me, it just sounded like another challenging job. However, this project was also the target of a secret plot. I bet you can imagine the kind of crime the nation's top secrets might attract. I never thought for the life of me I'd have to deal with spies. It was never made public, but every organization in the country moved on this one. And then one day, the name of a certain programmer emerged as a suspect. I was the guy who built the core of the system. The police arrested you, and then that incident happened. He escaped from the interrogation room and took Little Lin as a hostage. By the way, Detective Jowd, when was it that I was proven innocent? About 6 months after your death. I'm so sorry, Yomi. 10 years ago, my soul was split from my body, and I lost everything. I was sealed in eternal darkness. I existed in this world, no question about that. But nobody noticed my presence. What good were my powers? They didn't help anybody. Not even the passage of time could heal my pain. In fact, it only made it worse. I wanted to disappear, but I wasn't even allowed to do that. The way Lin described it is exactly right. Sinking slowly toward the bottom of an endless sea. An overwhelming feeling of loneliness and despair, and I wanted all of you to suffer what I was suffering. And so that's why you murdered Alma. That's right. I wanted you to know what it was like to lose everything you cared about. I wanted you to feel the same pain I felt. It was the twisted wish of a mind poisoned by infinite loneliness. Then, as I was plotting my revenge, I had an idea. I came up with a plan to use these powers of mine to make a deal. There's something I just don't understand about that deal. I'm sure your powers would be very valuable to them, but what would you get out of the deal? New life. Life. I asked them for 2 conditions. Number 1 was that they help me with my revenge plot. And the second was a rebirth for me. Rebirth, a new beginning, right? I didn't care if it was a fake life, an artificial life. I just wanted a physical receptacle for my soul, a name and identity in everyday life. I wanted to grow old in a society that would accept me. And finally, I wanted to die, surrounded by a loving family. That's the kind of life I asked them for. A completely man-made life. That's right. I knew I couldn't hope for anything more than that. To make it all come true, I knew it would take a lot of money and a lot of power. That's why I decided to ask the national government to help me. And their response in the end was betrayal. They were making their moves much more carefully than I suspected. They sent spies to this country and researched my powers on their own. And they even figured out what Temsik was all about. And you had no idea they were doing all this. None at all. I was a fool. So then, why did they go to all the trouble of making a deal with you? Why didn't they just steal a hunk of the Temsik meteorite from the park? They couldn't, huh? After the manipulator incidents, research was conducted in this country too. A report was submitted to the government about the source of the manipulator's power. By Inspector Cabanilla and the old pigeon guy, huh? At first, the government didn't believe the report. But then they decided to put the park under surveillance, just in case. Surveillance, huh? It just looks like an ordinary peaceful park, but there are armed agents there at all times. Don't tell me that odd leaflet guy is one of them. No, not him, he's just a plain old odd person. That park is like a silent battlefield on an international scale. So that's why they couldn't steal the Temsik meteorite. And lately, under the pretense of building a housing site, they've been working on a plan to destroy that park in order to secure the Temsik meteorite. So that's it, So the upshot of your grand deal was this, eh? Yeah. It's the ending I deserve. But at least there's one thing you must be happy about. What's that? You've managed to seal me away at the bottom of the sea forever. Shall we get started? Started with what? Bringing Detective Jad back to life, of course. What? What good will that do now? But we promised! We promised Miss Lynn and Miss Camilla we'd save them! We can't do that without you, Detective Jad. I've been guided by fate tonight to this place. I won't give up now. Alright. Fine. Let's see where it leads us. Here we go then. Back to 4 minutes before your death. So, where are we headed? We are not headed anywhere, Detective. We are not headed anywhere, Detective. I don't know what voice I give him. We are not headed anywhere, Detective. What? There was only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. There is only enough fuel on board to launch us away, Detective. We will run out soon, and that will be our destination, Detective. What are you talking about? That would mean that you're trapped here too. By the way, I am not human, Detective. I am a remote-controlled robot, Detective. What? Your country's use of technology is just plain off. We get that a lot, Detective. Why would you go to all the trouble to do this? There's nothing but a shell there. It's hardly a threat anymore. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility. Commander Sith likes to provide against any possibility, no matter how small, Detective. Possibility. What are you talking about? There is no need for you to know, Detective. Now it is time to say goodbye, Detective. In the end, your fate remains the same, it seems, Detective. Camilla, forgive me. It isn't over yet. It isn't? Remember what that big masked man said? Any possibility, no matter how small. Possibility. In other words, there must be a chance here somewhere. The possibility of turning the situation around. Oh? What is it, Detective? Look at Yomiel's ship. There's no aura emanating from his body. Of course there isn't. The Temsik fragment is gone. Could this change in his ship give us some kind of lead? I figured it out. I know what this possibility, no matter how small, is that they're afraid of. What is it? My time was perpetually stopped thanks to the power of Temsik. body cycle between the moments it separated as life and death. Right, but not anymore. The Temsic fragment has been taken away. Exactly, so what does that mean? I get it. Your body won't come back to life anymore. The moment the Temsic fragment was removed from my shell, my shell became a regular corpse. Let's see, that means we can go back. Back to 4 minutes before your death. But wait a minute. Exactly when is that death? That's simple. We'll find out when we get there. Let's move. I fell back through the cracks of time for what seemed like forever. And then I saw it. The final death at the end of this long night. Who exactly am I? I've already seen all the clues. All I have to do now is remember. The final journey to the truth starts now. Yes, let's keep going. We might be able to finish the game tonight. Which I didn't expect, but that would be kind of cool. Yeah. Oh, final chapter. We'll see how long this final chapter is, but, you know. When was Yomiel's death? It was 10 years ago, when the Temsic meteorite fell. We traveled back through time, and now we're here, at the scene of that death. The start of it all is about to replay itself. Young Lin. It's ready! Hold it! Give it up. Do you really think you can outrun me? Eek! Now, just calm down and drop that weapon. Stay back. If you come any closer, I'll shoot her. Shoot. You might get hurt. You might get hurt. Are you okay? You're all right now. Are you hurt? You saved me, mister. I was just doing my job. The gods, they're the ones who saved you. What's your job, mister? Me? I'm a police detective. So, that's the Temsic meteorite, eh? It's beautiful looking at it from this angle. It changed all of our fates completely. We can't stop Temsic from falling from the sky, but we might be able to protect you from that fragment and save your life. I don't know. What's the matter, Detective Chad? To be perfectly honest, I'm scared. If that meteorite fragment doesn't get him, I'm pretty sure I would have shot him. We might not be able to change your fate of dying. I can accept that. What I did is inexcusable. No matter how the future might change, that fact will never go away. If my fate is to die here, then I accept that. This will be our last battle against fate. Beyond that will be a new future. Okay, let's get started! to save you. Lynn would just wander off somewhere. That would solve everything. When her sweet potato is almost ready, she's not gonna budge from that spot. You know, it makes me wonder. A little girl alone in the park listening to music and roasting a sweet potato. What kind of childhood did this girl have? Doesn't everybody have at least one day in their life like that? Give her a break! Anyway, if Lynn won't budge from that spot, we'll just have to have the fragment move instead. It's ready! Hold it. Eek! What are you doing? You're gonna hurt poor Miss Lynn's ears! I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. You really startled her. You even made her drop her sweet potato. You know how much this girl loves her food, too. Anyway, at least her fate was changed. Albeit ever so slightly. What is this thing? Oh boy, you even forgot what a sweet potato is. It's a roasted root vegetable. It's good. There's nothing like them on a cold winter's day. They're sweet and they smell delicious. That's sure I'm making me want to try one. Unfortunately, that's not an option for someone who doesn't have a mouth. Ah. Oh, look at that sweet potato! That big, scary sweet potato! It's not a sweet potato missile, that's Nino. Oh, alright, of course. But look at them, the potato and Nino. Right now, they both have the same shape. You're saying you could swap them, huh? Good idea, Missile. Okay, here I go, and I'm gonna need your help. I am. Okay, Sissel must have had to go on the sweet potato rather than, It's about time for that meteorite to come down. We have to change the fragment's path somehow. Looks like both paths and fates can be difficult things to change. There has to be a way. If we work together, you and me, I thought we'd be able to do something. Oh, that's funny. I don't know why he's using the press text. Yeah, so the key is that Sissel has to get onto the sweet potato rather than Missile. Because otherwise Sissel can't reach anything. doubt we can move those two from that spot. Which means we have to do something with the Temsic fragment instead. That should be easy with our powers. I think you're right, Mizzle. It's going to be the grand finale. After fate change. Wait, what? No, shoot. I could have sworn I activated it, but I guess I didn't. Well, here we go again, I guess. Oh, shoot. It doesn't keep going. The nozzle thing, it doesn't stay on. Oh, look, the lamppost is bending. But it hasn't broken yet. It really is a wonder it hasn't snapped. It just might hold out for a little while longer. If I recall, Temsic fragment smashed through the glass lantern on its way down. But if Mino sits firmly in its way, then fate should change. The only thing we can do now is wait. I hope it works. It's about time for that meteorite to come down. Don't worry, Mizzle. I think we're ready for it. Look what's right into the fragment's path. Oh, okay, that giant sweet potato. If anything can get in the way, that ugly monster can. Ouch. Anyway, now the fragment's path ought to change. There! How's that? Look, the fragment's course! It changed a little! Now Yomiel's fate should really change. Wait a minute. Take another look at the fragment's trajectory. Now that it's changed, what's in its path? In its path? No! Damn! Ah! Detective Jowd! The Temsic fragment shot through his leg. What? Cruel twists of fate weren't over yet. Ah! Come on. Put it down. Huh? Jowd, put the gun down now. If you don't, you're going to shoot him. I don't know if it's detective training or what. Even though he's shaking from the pain, the gun doesn't waver. Put the gun down! No! I knew it. This is my true fate. In the end, I stole his life away with my own hands. I won't let that happen! Listen, the bullet stopped in midair. I'm here, inside the bullet. Now, let's swap it with something. What? Detective Jowd, the meteorite fragment is what made you pull the trigger. We won't let you become a murderer. We have to prove that murder isn't the detective's true fate. To do that, we have to stop this bullet. There must be something with the same shape as the bullet around here. Sweet potato. Oh. Oh no, we stopped the bullet, but we still couldn't save him. That's not true. My fate of getting pierced through the back might not have changed, but I'm still alive. What? I'm not dead, I'm just unconscious. Okay, so your fate of death has changed, but still, this fate is just too painful to watch in every sense. I don't think so. As long as I'm alive, that's good enough for me. But we were overlooking one thing. The wheel of fate was still slowly turning. No, 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 no. Oh, shoot. Lynn! Look out! Wake up! You gotta get out of there! Damn it, my leg won't work. It's all over. We're all out of time, Miss Lynn. It's not over yet. There isn't anything else to swap with. Why don't we just let it play out, and then we can try to find another way next time. Even if she dies, all you have to do is possess her corpse, and then you can redo her last 4 minutes as many times as it takes. No, I won't do that. Why not? Sure, the fact of her death would be erased, but her memory of it would remain, like a scar on her psyche. I won't let that happen, not if I can help it. What can we do now? Even if we work together? I think there might be something that can be done. What is it? What can Sissel and I do? Don't forget, I'm here too. With 3 kinds of powers among us, we ought to be able to fight this battle. This battle against the fate of death. Yomio. Sissel, your power is manipulating objects. Use your power to manipulate this. Oh, I don't get it. Just trust me. Let's go. Alright, I'll try to move there. Now, gather your strength and make it spray as if your life depended on it. Dead, though. In that case, make it spray as if your death depended on it. Give it your all. And remember, you'll only have a split second. Got it. Now it's your turn, Missile. What can I do? I think you know the answer to that. Oh, okay, got it! You can swap them. That hunk of concrete will go back to its original position. But even if I swap them, it'll still be right above Miss... Don't worry. Okay, I'll do it. I'll swap them. It's no use. We can't stop that horrible meal. What can we do now? I don't see how gaining a second or two helped. Oh, it helped, alright. Those few seconds were exactly what I wanted. Last up, it's my turn. Your turn. You know what my power is, right? I can manipulate living creatures. Wait a minute, you mean... That's right. I'm going to save that little girl. Save her by manipulating my own unconscious body. Ye gods. Oh, you're awake. Mister, is your knee okay? Oh, it'll be fine. It's just a scrape. I'm lucky it wasn't a fatal hit, but the main thing is that you're not hurt. You saved me, mister? I was just doing my job. The gods, they're the ones who saved you. What's your job, mister? Me? I'm a police detective. Do you think you could go call the police for me? I think you could do it quicker than I could. What's that? This is the detective's badge. We give them to children who've been very brave. A detective's badge? Thanks! Okay, you know what to do, little detective. sadly. Hang on. Help is coming. What made you do such a reckless thing? To be perfectly honest, I don't really know. When I came to, my body was already moving all by itself. It was as if somebody else was controlling me. I see. But you know, I'm glad it happened. Hey, mister. Hey, mister. I found this kitten. It was over there. Come to think of it, I just saw it a few minutes ago. It's probably a stray. It's kind of limp. Is it okay? I don't know. I think it's unconscious. It's funny, it doesn't look like it's injured or anything. Poor little kitty. How about if I take it to my house and look after it? Would you like to come home with me, little kitten? Well, looks like his fate just changed in a big way. Whose fate? That kitten's, of course. Sissel's. Sissel? The name Sissel echoes in my head. That's my real name. These long, lonely 10 years. You were my one and only friend. How about it? Do you remember now? Old friend. I think I finally remember. 10 years ago, I was a little kitten that wandered into this park. I was weak and all alone in the world. Hold it. Somebody, please. Please look at me. Kitten. Shoot, you might get hurt. Somebody, please. Reach out a hand to me. Reach a hand out to me. I had only just died at the time. I had lost everything. My life, my memory. My body wouldn't move anymore, but I still managed to reach out a hand to him. Next thing I knew, my soul had transferred to the black kitten. With no recollection of who I was, I lived as a cat with you for a while. After a while, the man regained his memory. I went back to being just a cat, and then the man got his body back. I took my body back from the morgue. There was somebody I just had to go see, just one more time. I took control of my body and hurried to her house. I was just a little too late. I just missed her as she left this world. She left me a note that said, "I'm coming to you, Yomiel." The man named me Sissel. It was the name of something important he had lost, along with his life. His fiancée. He told me about it once, but I didn't understand what it was. Those 10 years were very happy for me, but they weren't happy for the man, and there was nothing I could do for him. For 10 years, I wandered through the darkness with no particular place to go. As time passed, my powers gradually changed. First, I could only manipulate small creatures and objects. Then, after a while, I could manipulate people. That's when the darkness inside me deepened, and I started to get a little twisted. I wanted light. Distorted, artificial light. When I got my revenge on Lynn, I would see that light, or at least that's what I tried to believe. I left my old self buried in that junkyard and walked away. Black cat. I was possessing Sissel then. It wouldn't look very much like a murder. It wouldn't look very much like a murder if the corpse got up and walked away, after all. So you borrowed the body of your old friend. Sissel was inside that bag I was carrying tonight. I had no intention of leaving my friend behind in this country when I left. Then, when I went to possess his body, I realized something horrible. What was that? Sissel there inside the bag was dead. What? Man. I wasn't able to control her completely. The first bullet didn't hit anything. Or so I thought. But it did hit something, didn't it? It hit Sissel inside that bag. Yes, that's when I lost my life. Right there in the presence of Temsic radiation. The Temsic meteorite that was in the gun. In Yomil. And that's when I got my powers of the dead. My ghost tricks. I think I understand it now. Why I was the only one who couldn't get his memory back. It was because I thought that corpse was me. It was the only corpse I could see at the time, after all. But it turns out it wasn't the only dead body. My true death was hiding just behind that corpse. Now that I think about it, do you remember what you said? That you knew all along about me saving Lynn tonight. If you knew, why didn't you try to stop me? It's simple. Because I couldn't, even if I wanted to. Huh? Why not? Remember the thing about individual differences and the powers we get? I can control all kinds of things, from the living to the dead. But even so, there are some things you can do that I can't. You mean, I can't even rewind time, let alone change the fate of death. If I could do those things, I would have saved your life. Not only that, but I never would have just let my fiancé stay dead like that. But you're here 10 years in the past now. That's thanks to your powers. I just tagged along with you. In any case, now the starting point of this entire tragedy is changed dramatically, altering fate. The fate of your death, the kitten Sissel's fate, and I can just bet you the fate of the woman you loved has changed too. Yes, I believe you're right. So this was the last fate to be averted, huh? So, Yomiuri, looks like your plan for revenge ended in failure. Yes. And I'm glad, too. I think I kind of understand now what you've been feeling. I think I kind of understand now what you've been feeling these past 10 years. She understood. She understood. She shed tears for me. That's when my revenge was over. She saved me from the darkness. Well, I guess it's time we got back. A new 10 years later was just born. Right, we should get back to our new present. I can't wait to see Miss Lily and Miss Camilla again. These past 10 years will now all vanish. Well, not completely. The memories of all of us here will remain, including the memory of what I did. My crime. That's the way this game of the dead works, eh? And no matter what the reason, there's no denying the fact that I took Lynn hostage and tried to point a gun at her. I have no intention of running away from that either. The most inexcusable crime in my new life. Hey, Sissel? Yes? When we go back, our fates will no longer be interconnected. It will be like we never met. So before that happens, I just want us to say one thing. Tonight, I stole away your life with my own hands. I'm truly sorry. That's already a thing of the lost past. Our fates have changed now. Right, Yomiuri? Thank you, Sissel. I'm so very glad I met you. Me too, Yomiuri. Sissel, are we ever gonna see each other again? I couldn't stand it if we weren't. Don't worry, Missile. I bet we'll see each other again someday. 10 years from now, our paths are sure to cross. We'll just have to wait until then. Sissel, I'll never forget you. I'll never forget you either, you valiant little dog. Well, looks like you come to live with me now. So let's be getting home, little black cat. Home, huh? It sounds good, Detective Chad. We all witnessed the birth of a new beginning, and now we're each going back to our own new present. We said goodbye to the parts of our stories that would be lost, believing that someday our paths would all cross again. Wait. Before you go back to a new present, I wanted to thank you. Before I cease to exist... Oh, it's you. Yes, it is I, Ray, in case you have forgotten again. Thanks to you, everything has turned out as I had hoped. I am really grateful to you, Sissel. Thank you. But don't forget, I was only on a journey to find my own lost memory. Yes, I know that. I know all about you. Can I ask you a question, Ray? I want to know, who exactly are you? Fair enough. I will tell you. Let me tell you about another version of tonight's events. You changed the fates of many people tonight, the first of which was hers. Again, he's totally fine. He's fine. He's fine. He's just sleepy. Maybe he went to get dinner or something. If you had not been there for her tonight, her fate would have been to die in that lonely spot on the outskirts of town. If that had occurred, what do you suppose would have happened? Let me tell you a story. story of a little creature. After they stole her life that night, they broke into her apartment. They stole the wooden box from the ceiling hiding place and left. And in the process, two little dead bodies were left behind. However, the little fellow's spirit lived on. He desperately reached out his paw towards his mistress, and that's when a miracle occurred. What? Look at that. The powers of the dead, but how? He didn't really understand it himself. Not yet, anyway. But with all you know now, I bet you understand it, do you not? Wait a minute. Toxic radiation. That's right. He died inside the aura of that strange energy. But unfortunately, with his meager powers, he was unable to save his little mistress. There just wasn't anything he could do with only the power to swap objects. He needed the power to manipulate objects in order to save the little lady. The little fellow chased after the men, but there still wasn't anything he could do. In the end, he was left behind with the man in red in the deep, deep sea. And then he went back. He went back to the world of 10 years before, to the moment of the man in red's death. What? What? He decided to wait it out. He decided to wait until that night came again. And that's the other version of the story of this night. A story that has taken these 10 years to be retold. So that was you, huh? Well, how about that? That's right. I'm Missile. 10 years is a very long time in dog years. You couldn't change the face of these people on your own. So you decided to wait those 10 years out. Exactly. And then, at last, that fateful night rolled around again. But this time I had grown old, and my powers were weak. So I decided I needed to find somebody to help me this time around. Somebody who possessed different powers than me. But wait a second. You were able to manipulate that desk lamp. Over the course of the long years, my powers changed. My ability to swap objects weakened, but I became able to manipulate small objects. But in that case, why didn't you cooperate with yourself? Because I couldn't. Huh? From watching The Man in Red, I found out there were individual differences in our powers. I couldn't do any of the things he could do, like travel through the telephone lines, for example. What? It may not seem like much, but it's a very important power, especially if you're trying to chase somebody. There's something I don't understand. Even from the very beginning that I have that power. How did you know so much about me? Why wouldn't I? After all, we had met before, on that night, the first time around. What? We met before? From listening to the conversation of the two intruders to the apartment, I learned that Miss Lynn had lost her life at the junkyard at the edge of town. I followed the Ghost World paths to the junkyard and came upon an incredible scene. Imagine, if you will, there in the darkness, a twisted and swiveling desk lamp. It made my first stand on end, I can tell you. That was me? So I was shot on that night the first time around as well. You had lost your memory that time too. You had just died and you felt confused. You had declined to cooperate with me. I did what? I just found out. I just want to find my own lost memory. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. That's what you said. And then you disappeared, away over the telephone line. I'm really sorry I didn't help you. That's why I decided that this time I would use that desire of yours to our mutual advantage. Mutual advantage? The only thing you were interested in was finding your own lost memory. If I could guide you along the right path to doing that, we would both benefit. And namely, the right path would be the path to the man in red, to Yomion. What? I gave you the information you needed to know to set you in the right direction, and then I gave you a time limit. Time limit? That's right, as you know, I said you only had until tomorrow morning. If I hadn't done that, you wouldn't have found out the truth tonight. And the man in red would have been sealed away at the bottom of the sea forever. If that had happened, it would have all been over. You mean, the thing about ceasing to exist? Oh, that completely made up. A little naughty of me, I know. But I just wanted you to use your time wisely. Oh boy. I hate to admit it, but this little doggy really outsmarted me in every way. Let's just call it the wisdom that comes with age. And now, it's time to say farewell. These past 10 years will cease to exist, and with them, so will I. Missile, I believed in you. I always knew you could do it. And so you did! Thank you! Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Missile, so you waited and waited. These 10 long years. All for the sake of your two ladies, Lynn and Camilla, huh? Of course, because that's what doggies do. Now then, farewell, Sissel. And so, the story of a single night came to an end. Nobody but us knew what really happened that night. I made my way back to a new present. I made my way back to a new present. How come it's dark? I'll just turn on the lights here. Oh, how come it's dark? I'll just turn on the lights here. Were you surprised? You bet I was. You nearly scared me to death. Yippee! It worked! It's not even my birthday today. It was my mom's birthday the day before yesterday. I made this surprise for her, but it came out so well I wanted to use it again. That's all right, then. After all, we're celebrating the birth of your new position as detective, right? Really? Thank you, Detective Jowd. Dad, you're home! Hi, Camilla. Let me introduce you. This is Lynn. She was just assigned to the detective division today. Hi, Camilla. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Lynn. Congratulations on becoming a detective. Huh? Is something wrong? I have one of those badges too. Oh, this? Yeah. I have one just like it. My dad just gave it to me the other day. Yours looks a lot older than mine, though. How long are you going to keep wearing that toy badge, Lynn? What's wrong with it? To me, this is the symbol of a real detective. It's been 10 years since then, hasn't it? Who would have guessed you'd actually become a detective one day? When you gave me this badge, I just knew. I knew it was my destiny somehow. Destiny, eh? Now that I'm a detective, I'll find out where that destiny will lead me. That you will. That you will. Oh, hello. Don't tell me you're that same little kitten. That's right. The very one. You know what? You know what? This is a very, very special cat. He's 10 years old, but he's still a kitten. Still a kitten? Still a kitten? Yep, he never got any bigger or anything. Wow, what a mysterious little fellow. I know, right? His name is Sissel. Sissel. Seems to me that I've heard that name somewhere before. I think Sissel likes you, Lynn. I think Sissel likes you, Lynn. Alright, everyone. Let's start the celebration. Okay, Mom. I bet you're just like me. Your destiny led you here somehow, too. And so we meet again, Sissel. From just that single night as a human, I got a glimpse into their world, and I learned something. Their fates, their lives, they were all interconnected, somewhere, somehow, in some way. And now this is my new fate. I guess I really am a cat. It suits me just fine to curl up and watch the strange and beautiful patterns of their lives as they unfold. And it looks like I'll have plenty to watch here for quite a while. God damn it, that's a good game. Happy birthday to our lovely Lynn. Like I said, it isn't my birthday. Hey, Missile. I thought I asked you to stay home and guard the fort. But birthdays are for celebrating together with friends and loved ones. Nothing like it, baby. There. How do you like that? Not bad, huh? But definitely not good. Maybe now I can be a great detective, just like Inspector Cabanela. What kind of example is the Inspector providing for his men? Yeah, the setup and the payoff in this game is so tight. Here's your food, gentlemen. Memory, what are you doing? Memory, what are you doing now? I heard you were gonna pick up new members of the special investigation unit. So you took on a part-time job here again just so you could eavesdrop? Oh, you have no idea the lengths I'd go to reach my goals. Oh, you have no idea the lengths I'd go to reach my goals. Oh, I've never cooked this way before. So exotic, so exciting. I don't know. Turmeric, coriander, cumin, is this really necessary? There's no curried chicken menu item? Oh, but our very best customer requested it. Now, good look, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh boy, I don't think I could eat another bite. Just who exactly is this very best customer, anyway? Oh, got it. Yeah, so it's like all the things that, like, Sissel not knowing how to read. He thought that it was because he forgot, but it's literally because he was a cat. Of course he didn't know how to read. And all the things he didn't know, it wasn't just his memory that he lost. Are you sure we really need all these explosives? Not to worry about you, my dear. I followed the instructions exactly. 20 kilograms of gunpowder, just like it said. Wait a minute. 20 kilograms? I thought it was... Wait a minute. 20 kilograms? I thought it was 20 grams. So, yeah. There's all these things that are like, oh, these are things he's forgotten because of his amnesia, but are actually all written in because he's a cat. It's just so tightly written. So this is where you work, huh, Pop? That's right, sweetheart. Oh, you husband, did you have any ideas of how you could hit me? You must have heard some juicy stories, the indiscretions of the minister, perhaps. Now, must you talk that way in front of our darling angel? Here is the stodgy mind of my darling husband. Anyway, it's very tightly written, and it's just like, yeah, it's great. It's a great game. The gameplay is super cool and innovative, and the whole thing is just great. It's a great game. Start to finish, every element. This still is going quite well. Oh, I see these grapes are quite good, but you know what is about to scrape the bottom of the sea, sir. Be forewarned, sir. Hey! Keep it together, man. Are you trying to give me a case of the vapors? I believe I nearly died of fright just now. Love, peace, and pigeons. Long live rock and roll. Stop the park from charging admission. Nope, stop the park from charging admission. Protect the rights of those who live here. Or something like, I don't know. I don't remember the voice I gave him. Today's the day, you know. He's finally getting out. You know, everybody's starting to get real tired of seeing you do that. Then let me show you a new dance that's been passed down in our family for generations. We do this when we have a stomach ache. We call it Dance Away the Pain. Oh, I'm real interested in that one. I think you could show it to me, say, next week. You got it. 10 long years, Yukia. Your time's up today. The young lady who always comes to visit you is waiting outside. Thank you, Thistle. Should we see if there's anyone to raid? Error fetching your followed channels. That's weird. Maybe we can just do it on my computer then. See who's streaming right now. It's not working on here either. Might be just a problem with Twitch tonight. Well, let's see. A channel. Let's see if it works here. Ah, there we go. Alright. I got someone to raid. I will see you all on Thursday. Bye-bye.